Welcome in, everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, so we are here with CEO Mode Activated, one of our community members, as she facilitates Teaching Tuesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass over the mic. Look, I ain't even on camera today. Look, it ain't about me tonight, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pass over the mic, let her do what she do. But thank you guys so much for tapping in to tonight's Teaching Tuesday. You got it.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. Good evening. Happy you guys are here. My name is Nicole. I'm the CEO and founder of All-in-One Tech Solutions. So we was going to do a theme song, but it's being recorded. So I'm going to keep it professional. But today we're going to talk about cybersecurity for small to medium-sized businesses and why cybersecurity is no longer just like an IT issue, it's a business issue. And why a lot of businesses think cyber attacks only happen to large corporations, but in reality, it happens to small businesses. Why? Because most small businesses are typically they don't have like the security in place. The goal of today's presentation is to better help you understand common cybersecurity risks, how cyber attacks affect businesses, simple ways to improve protection, and practical steps businesses can take right now, so that way you can avoid future cyber security attacks. This presentation is designed to be practical and easy to understand. Before we begin, drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like your business is fully confident today or fully protected today. Sorry.
Can we put a 0 in the chat? Look, is there a 0 option? Look.
Hey, you can put a 0 also. Cool. So we're gonna jump in. So one of the biggest misconceptions in business is like, we're too small to be targeted. Unfortunately, cyber criminals often target like smaller businesses because they know many businesses don't have dedicated IT teams. They don't train their employees often. They use a lot of weak passwords and they don't have proper backups. And they also delay software updates. Cyber security affects revenue, customer trust, productivity, operations, and business continuity. So if your systems go down, many businesses cannot operate effectively. So most businesses experience cyber threats more often than they realize. Uh, we're going to talk about the most common threats businesses face today. The first thing is phishing emails. These are fake emails designed to trick employees into clicking malicious links, sending money, sharing passwords, or downloading harmful files. Next is ransomware. Ransomware can lock businesses' systems and hold files hostage until payment is made. Weak passwords are another major issue. Many businesses still use easy passwords, reuse passwords, or even shared passwords. And another growing threat is business email compromise. This happens when hackers impersonate executives, vendors, clients, or employees. And finally, unsecured devices create vulnerabilities. Outdated systems and unprotected laptops can create serious risk. So the important thing to understand is that many attacks begin with simple human interaction. When businesses think about cybersecurity, many only think about hackers, but cyber attacks impact businesses in different ways. Cybersecurity incidents can cause financial losses, downtime, lost productivity, customer trust issues, reputation damage, and compliance concerns. Even one day of downtime can become expensive. Imagine employees unable to work, customers are unable to reach you, systems are offline, and files are unaccessible. So put a 1 in the chat. If your business went down tomorrow, could you still run your business? Like, would it affect your business if your business went down tomorrow for 24 hours? How would that impact your business? Put a 1 in the chat if it would. Cool. I see the ones coming in. All right, cool. So that's why cyber security is really about protecting business continuity. Next slide. All right, cool. So one of the biggest cybersecurity risks in many businesses is human error. Cyber criminals often target employees because it's easier to manipulate people than technology. Some common mistakes include clicking suspicious links, reusing passwords, downloading unsafe attachments, sharing login credentials, falling for fake invoices. This is why employee education matters. Cybersecurity is not only a IT responsibility, it's a company-wide responsibility. So technology alone is not enough without awareness and training. Now we're going to talk about some of the basic protections every business should consider. First is antivirus and endpoint protection. This helps identify and block malicious activity on devices. Second is multi-factor authentication, which is known as MFA. This adds an additional layer of protection beyond just passwords. Backups are also critical. Businesses should have reliable cloud or device backups in case files become corrupted, deleted, or locked. The last one is firewall protection and device monitoring. This also helps reduce risk. So the goal is layered protection. No single tool solves everything. Many businesses delay cybersecurity improvements because they believe, we're too small. We have antivirus. Cybersecurity is expensive. We'll handle it later. Unfortunately, many businesses only take cybersecurity seriously after an incident recurs. The reality is prevention is usually much less expensive than recovery. In the chat, what do you guys think is the biggest reason businesses delay cybersecurity improvement? So, what is the reason why you guys delay it? Is it because of, you think you're too small, or is it because it's expensive? Cool, cool. Got some action going. All right, cool. So, cybersecurity doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small, consistent improvements can make a huge difference. And here are some simple cybersecurity best practices that you can implement today. You can use strong, unique passwords, enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA, keep software updated, back up business data often, limit unnecessary access permissions, and train employees often, and review your cybersecurity policies often. You don't need to implement everything overnight. The key is making steady improvements over time. So quick question, what's one cyber security improvement your business can make this month? Cool. So even small improvements help reduce risks often. And next slide. So pretty much like as we wrap up, I know my presentation was really straight to the point, but as we wrap up today's presentation, I want to leave you with this. Cybersecurity is an investment in your business. It helps protect revenue, customer trust, productivity, business continuity, long-term growth. The businesses that prepare proactively are usually in a much stronger position than businesses reacting after something goes wrong. So before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your time. And I don't want you guys just leaving with information. I want you leaving with something that you can actually use. So what I'm going to do for you guys today, I'm going to give you guys a cybersecurity prevention ebook and a cyber ready scorecard. This will help you guys see where your businesses stand and what needs attention. But before I give this out, I need some yeses in the chat.
Yes, indeed. Let me ask you this, Nicole. What for us that are small, businesses, because I've seen it in the chat that, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't even consider it, this, that, and the third. But what have you seen, in your life, you've been out there and you've seen small businesses, but have you is there any, how do I say this? Like, is there any trigger or anything that may make you like a extra target for cybersecurity, like any type of industry? Or because I know like we work with the tax side,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So, working in the tax side, you have pertinent data, things of that nature. So can you cover like some of the industries that are like really prone, or even the things that we don't think about, because most of us like just like Shay said in the chat, she like, look, I didn't even think of this. So what are some reasons why we should like really consider getting cybersecurity, you know what I'm saying, in our businesses?
The most important one, if you guys are handling like customer payments, third party vendors can get hacked any day. So if you're using Stripe, what happens if Stripe goes down? What happens if Stripe get a data breach? Your customer's information is exposed. So
That's
if
big.
you're handling taking payments and depending on third party vendors, right now it's large corporations getting hacked every day, like getting breaches, and that's customers' information in the dark web. So if you have your protections in place, your customers can get a peace of mind knowing that hey, your business is protected.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So for those that think, because I think that's a big concern too, that cybersecurity is a big fee. Like when you hear that, you just think for some reason that it's a lot of money. Can you break down, especially for some of us smaller business that may be a solopreneur or something like that? How much does the certain, and again, this ain't a pitch or anything like that, but just so people can get an understanding of like how much they can anticipate to pay for something like this.
So cybersecurity, I know for my business alone, we charge just for solo entrepreneurs $65 a month, or you have an option to do annually. And if you have two or more PCs, it's $50 a month per user.
What does that like include?
It includes the multi-factor authentication, 24/7 monitoring, email security, cloud backup, and just 24/7 monitoring, email security, cloud backup, and just a peace of mind. I mean,
For
honestly.
sure. For sure. No, real talk. So I think that's the reason why I wanted to mention that, because like Shay said, man, that's affordable. Because again, when you thinking of tech, cybersecurity, this, that, and the third, for whatever reason, it just seemed like ching, ching, ching. So at the end of the day, $50, $60, a month, you get what I'm saying? And to have peace of mind, I think that's priceless. And I don't know, has anybody, and put this in the chat or unmute yourself, but have anybody ever tried to like log into their stuff and it like is totally corrupted or totally wiped out? Like, I mean, has that happened to anybody in the past?
I was
I
gonna.
know before.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was gonna speak on that when you mentioned, you wake up one day and you don't have access to your business. I'm I've been small scale in the past. I've worked with my cake business for over 7 years, but there's been times when I haven't had access to either. Right now, I don't have access to my Facebook Messenger. So when people message my business page, I can't get any of the messages. I have to tell people to text me, or go to my site or whatever the case may be to handle business. And I know how thrown off it can be not having access to something that you utilize for business. And I know how that must look to incoming customers. They're like, okay, well, what's going on that your stuff is not secure? But even like with payment systems, you mentioned that having it be secure when you're utilizing payment systems. I use Square. I've used Square for a long time, and I had to at the very beginning of my business. I don't know if it was hacked or what, but I know at one point it was acting really glitchy. I couldn't get into it, and I was like, okay. Like I said, it was early on, so I shut everything down, changed bank accounts, kind of broke things down so that no one could access my information, and just swipe myself completely clean in that. But that was so frustrating because like I had contacts in my Square account. I had people had sent payments that way. of course, this was like year one, so I was new. I didn't even know like what other payment POS systems were out there, and I didn't know that I didn't factor cybersecurity. I didn't think about, hey, if this had happened on a larger scale, if somebody had got access to these people's information, what my liability would be. Now as I'm, Elle and I are embarking on this new business, we're doing everything super legit. And I'm thinking to myself, we're going to be doing a lot of things that are going to there's going to be a lot of money changing hands. And this is just putting it on my mind of like, I might need to have this as something we need to have this as something that we're utilizing. And $65 a month ain't bad. I mean, right now, it may not be the most feasible in the moment, but that's definitely something that's going to be on my mind as an investment.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Because yes, to that point, especially when you start doing high ticket items, like imagine like one of your, I'm just saying, $10,000 clients because you didn't have proper security in place and somebody hacked, and like how embarrassing does that look? You get what I'm saying, to your business to not have just regular security in place, right? So I'm glad that we're having this conversation, and thank you so much, Nicole, for just giving us that insight, because you want to start, even though most of us are starting as solopreneurs or just a partnership. You want to try to do stuff as big or the best way you can out the gate, so that way as you grow and scale, these things are already second nature, to you, right? And so once you are exchanging hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, in your business, you don't have to worry about, somebody's information getting exposed or, so on and so forth. So thank you, Shay, for sharing that. Anybody else want to chime in or have any questions for Nicole? Because like, honestly, like, it's a privilege to have someone, of her stature here to answer these type of questions and, to get this information. So did anybody have any other feedback or questions that you guys want to chime in and ask? I think it's a super cool thing to be to be in tech. No, everybody's quiet tonight. Okay. Nicole, I'm not sure did you drop a link in the chat or?
I did. I dropped the links in the chat. You guys should have access to download
Okay,
those.
because it
Make sure it's the
says,
right ones.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys get it?
Let me, I'm looking. Do you guys see the link in there, guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
perfect. Okay.
How do you know what you need, Nicole, based on the services that you offer or just where you are in the longevity of your business?
So every industry is different. What I do like a risk-free IT assessment on your business and just figure out like where the gaps are. And then I'll compile like a custom plan strictly for your business. My niche is really just working with accounting firms and school districts, but I can work with all other industries. But if you want to book a risk-free IT assessment with me, we can go through a plan and give you some actions steps to take. I can put my website in the chat.
I was gonna say, do you have a link or somewhere? Okay.
Yeah, let me get that.
But what I did notice in your presentation, the main things that you said for us that are just new starting off, I think that in that basic package, what did you say? The monitoring, the MF, what was it? MFA,
Multi-factor authentication, the 24/7 monitoring, dark web ID is included, cloud backup, and email security.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so it appears that you know, unless you have like mad data and people's proprietary stuff, on access. So it's a little bit different. Like for us in the tax space, we got like criteria. Like we can't just have basic stuff. You got to have like a whole setup. But at the end of the day, I think for most of you guys, especially since you're just doing like just general business, you should be cool with just the basic setup. But of course, Nicole is the professional, so she'll let you know. And she put in the chat her website. I went ahead and took it a step further. Look, and put you right
Yes.
to the appointment link. So if you guys want to schedule, that's the beauty and benefit of showing up to these calls live. So that way you guys get that VIP access. So go ahead and schedule your call. Did anybody have any other questions or feedback? No? Okay. Well, thank you guys for, tuning in. I do want to ask for someone who did not speak, if anybody would like to chime in and just this may I won't say what did you learn tonight, but was this helpful in any kind of way for you guys, especially as you're navigating this journey of entrepreneurship? Did this help in any capacity for you?
Yeah, I'll talk. So it's so rare that I get to speak. I will say, thank you, Nicole. I actually have an IT degree. Thank you for shaming me into getting off my ass and doing the things I need to do to protect our business. And, like I need to put more security in place for sure. I'm just, been focused on marketing, promotion, mastering these recipes and cooking the best food possible on the planet. So I hadn't focused on the IT elements of it, but yeah, you're absolutely right with the number of cyber attacks that are happening, not even directly, but indirectly through our to vendors and, ancillary businesses that are connected to our businesses. Everybody has vulnerabilities if you don't have multi-levels of protection in place. Everything Nicole said is 100% accurate. Like I said, I have an IT degree, so I know exactly what she's talking about, and she's really on point with her stuff. So anybody who doesn't have the knowledge to do this stuff for yourself, 100% get with Nicole and let her guide you, because this is one of the areas that could be your most costly mistake. You could literally lose your entire website. Like if your website gets stolen, what are you going to do? You're out of business in 5 seconds. It's not a game. So protect your neck, as Wu-Tang once said. Holla.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And that's actually a great point, because one thing that you have to also consider is that we spend so much time, money, energy, on our assets. Assets being the website, right? Your social media pages, this, that, and the third. Some people are monetized on social media. It's a lot of moving parts that go into your business. So why build something so great and then overnight you wake up and now you can't log in, or something is wiped off, or there was a virus on your computer? You know what I mean? Like it could all be so simple, like simply, go away. So just want to make sure that you at least are cognizant of what needs to be done, whether you decide to work with Nicole or not. But thank you, Nicole, for bringing this to our awareness. Looks like Marlene, did you have something else that you wanted to chime in?
Yes, thanks. You may not have an answer, Nicole, but I have this theory that these strong passwords that are being suggested, and like the Google password managers, I feel like you can't trust them. I feel like somebody out there knows because they made it for me. What are your thoughts on using those types of prompts when setting up accounts? Do you have any experience with those failing quite a bit, or?
Honestly, no. I do know with Google that Google has like a free one that you can use. I really don't trust Google, because if Google get breached, they go down. You won't be able to access any products with Google for like a whole day. The product that I use actually is very secure. It does way more. But in my experience of doing it, I never had any client say anything about anything going down or not working. And the strong passwords really do work. Just make sure it's not reused.
So, Nicole, I guess what she's asking though is, like when you, when like Google or like whatever you're trying to do a password, it suggests the password for you though.
I
So,
wouldn't do those. It's
okay,
hard to like forget those. I'll create my own password. I wouldn't recommend like those passwords that they're creating because Google have, they have access to that. So I would create something that you would know with special characters that you can remember instead of relying on Google or these password managers
great
because it's still
question.
leaving your data, your stuff exposed because now they have access to your passwords and they know.
Great question. See, I would have never in life thought of that. So that was a great question. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for teach for tonight's Teaching Tuesday. Of course, we all in the group. So if y'all need to reach out to her, you can of course find her in the group, and she's put her website there as well. But thank you guys so much for chiming in, and you guys have a phenomenal evening. Thank you.